How many people have we stood with and helped them fight for all of our freedom? And in the end, they end up way in the front of the line, and we're still at the end with them telling us, oh, it's coming. It just takes time. Keep your ass home.
I see them down in my comment section and in the comment sections of other content creators talking about we all need to come together. All marginalized groups need to come together. Black and brown people need to come together. The time to come together was on November 5th when it counted. We didn't have to shed blood. We didn't have to fight. We didn't have to sweat. We didn't have to shed tears. All we needed to do was walk into the voting booth and vote accordingly against Donald Trump and for Kamala Harris. And all black and brown people didn't do that. All marginalized communities didn't do that. But now you want people to shed blood, to exert crazy amounts of energy, to put themselves in danger to come together now because you're in the hot seat. Well, I don't want to do that.
Hello and welcome to the channel once again. I hope you're doing fine wherever you're watching from, and I am glad that you have chosen to watch this video on this specific channel. I do not take that for granted. I appreciate that effort. Now, in today's video, I'll be talking about something that is ongoing at the moment. Apparently, Latinos have realized that they are not white, and they are calling for the black community to join them in their fight or in the protests as they protest against the ICE raids. Now, I'm not going to politicize the whole conversation or to politicize my commentary on this one like most of the commentaries you've heard. What I'm going to do is to specifically pinpoint the fact that other minorities or other communities only need blacks or only call for unity within or amongst their communities and blacks only when it's beneficial to them. They only need to unite with blacks or the black community only when they have something to benefit, and then thereafter they go about ignoring the black community. They do not want anything to do with the black community if it does not benefit them or if it's not beneficial to them. And this is not the first time that something like this is happening. You know, from time immemorial, from the history, if you have studied history, then you know very well that there is no single time that Latinos have probably stood up with the African Americans or with the black Americans in unity. Where were they when blacks were out there fighting for the whole Black Lives Matter campaign? They were nowhere to be seen. But right now, when it's beneficial to them, they are here wanting us to be united, calling us brothers and sisters. It has hit them in a very bad way that they are not white at the end of the day. They were assuming that by the mere fact that they are not black, that makes them white. But using that logic, and I'll call it logic in quotes, they went ahead and voted against their interests, because whatever is going on right now was not a secret. It's something that Donald Trump himself put out there during his campaign and even in his manifesto, that if you elect him, this was exactly what he wanted to do, and this is exactly what he is doing right now. And after voting against their interests, they're calling upon the blacks to help them. Now, I am not going to get into that or making them look like villains or say that it's a far kind of moment that they effed around and now they're finding out. No, I'm just all about pinpointing and bringing it to your attention that we as the black community, we have kind of been looked at as an item that we only need, or that they only need when it's beneficial to them, and thereafter they throw us away. It kind of reminds me of an item called a tissue paper, that you only need it when probably you're in the washrooms, or probably when you need to wipe a surface, and thereafter you get rid of it, you throw it away. So I think, using that analogy, that is the same way other minorities or other minority groups have been looking at black people. And it's true that black people have this kind of the golden voice, whereby anytime the black community speaks, people have no other option other than listen. The black community has really fought so many wars or so many battles, and they have won. Remember, most of the privileges that other minorities in America are enjoying at the moment are privileges that were fought by the black community. And right about now, Latinos want blacks to help them, and remember, thereafter they will they'll despise us once again, or thereafter they will not recognize that we were once united. So without wasting any time, let us get to watch some videos that I came across on the internet, and thereafter I'll come back with my commentary, and I hope you'll watch the video to the very end, because I really want to know, or want to see what you'll have to say. I really want to know what your opinion is concerning this topic. Please tell me what you think in the comment section, and if it's the first time on this channel, please consider subscribing to this channel. That way you'll be able to get notified each and every time I upload a new video. And if at all this is the kind of content that you like, or if you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up. Without wasting any time, let's get straight to the video, and I hope I'll be seeing you on the other side, where I'll be giving my commentary.
Some of you guys may not like this post. Okay, it has to be said. Having a platform gives me where I need to make a stand and say, and there's a lot going on with ICE right now, and I'm gonna say, this may get muted because they love to mute my political videos, but we're gonna try. Some of you guys with the black and brown unity right now going on, I'm reading tons out there on threads and social media, and some of you guys say that this is not our fight. This isn't our fight. I just want you to pause and think that when ICE raids homes and when migrants are detained, if injustice anywhere is allowed, it becomes injustice everywhere. This ain't just about them. It's about all of us. It's about every single one of us. Black people have every single right to be exhausted and to be tired. They have carried centuries of protests and fighting for their rights. But I want you to ask yourself, who benefits when we are divided? Because white supremacy loves when we say that's their issue. Read history, really read history, and you'll find that they wanted to create division with us. Because then it doesn't have to fight unity. They want us scared. They want us quiet, because they know that when black, brown, and indigenous people stand together, we're truly unstoppable. Not just in marches, but in strategy, in policy, in power. And yes, we've been betrayed before. Yes, anti-blackness exists in immigrant communities. But healing doesn't happen in silence, and liberation won't come from watching another family be ripped apart and thinking, well, that's not my business. To say they should have voted, that there's certain Hispanic people that should have voted, or they should have voted differently, or whoever you want to say should have voted, shouldn't voted, done differently, all of that. You're not focusing that the system is really rigged and restricts those that are still restricts those that are allowed to vote. So you're assuming that everyone has the same access, and it blames the oppressed for their oppression. I'm just gonna pause on that. And it gives the real enemy a pass. When you say if we protest ICE, the police are going to come for us, ask yourself, when have they ever not come for us? When have they ever not come for us? I don't care, black, brown, whatever. When have they not come for us? Solidarity won't make us more targeted. Silence just makes them bolder. Protesting ICE is protesting systems that believe cages are solutions. It's protesting state violence. It's protesting dehumanization. If we don't stand now, we teach the system how to treat us next. You don't have to be in the streets to be in the fight. You don't. Support organizers, share truth, sign petitions, use your voice, use your platform, because what they do to us today is what they will do to us tomorrow. That's it.
Which black people are you talking about that you say should stand with their brown brothers and sisters? Is it the black people that your daddies and your mommies tell you not to bring home? Is it those black people? Or is it the black Latinos and Hispanic people that y'all discriminate against?
I just got out of my bed because I had to say enough. I am tired of y'all sitting here trying to create a narrative that the 92% is nothing but buying into the xenophobic Christian nationalist pipeline right now and trying to guilt trip us into believing that we are the party that is wrong because we are not physically putting our bodies out there to assist the Latinx community, the Muslim community, or anybody else in the motherfuckers out there, the POC communities, in the deportation raids and all the harm that's happening to them. I'm tired of y'all, because if black people did not go out there and vote, you would have told us it was our fault and our ancestors died and put themselves on the line to give us these rights to make some level of change and political change for not just ourselves but for the country itself, and we didn't do our due diligence. But black people came out and turned out and did what they needed to do. There were black people we have in our family members that never even voted before because they don't even believe that the process is real, and they turned out to make sure that this man did not get in office. Not only did we put our communities on the forefront in our thought process, we put everybody's health and safety on the front line. Xenophobia was not the display based off of the political decisions of the 92%. And I know you keep talking about black women because nobody else turned out a 92% besides black women. You are not going to constantly place the blame and the guilt on the shoulders of fucking black women in this goddamn country. You are not going to consistently call us fucking ghetto, ratchet, uneducated, and disgusting and undesirable and think that I'm going to put on my fucking pressed on nails and hold a sign up and play security guard for a group of people that did not give a fuck about what my people had to say. You are not going to convince us that we were wrong for just voting regardless, because every goddamn institution is the same and they're both buddies and they play on the golf course. And we specifically told you that the revolution that you had in mind was not well thought out. It was not strategic and you still needed help. You decided to not listen to a group of people that had resistance and strategy and revolutions in their fucking blood, and who consistently are the ones who do the most organizing and advocating for people in their communities and outside. We told you, get the bitch in office. Once you get her ass in office, we can run her ass dry for everything that we fucking need, and we gonna be able to possibly take her down. That's what we said, and you decided to tell us to shut the fuck up. You decided to display anti-blackness, and now you sitting on the internet fucking crying, and you got your goddamn token ass friends coming at us talking about we're not doing our due diligence as black Americans. I am at it with y'all. Shut up. You are not going to keep placing the blame on black people and the responsibility on black people who have thoroughly, historically, and currently done their most efforts and due diligence to protect not only their fucking kids, but for everybody in this goddamn country. Our resumes is hella long and it is hella valuable. Enough. You are not going to constantly put this narrative on us. You are not going to not take accountability and responsibility for the communities that actually did what they're going to do. You are not going to constantly tell black people, oh, stop blaming the Latinx community. Why are you not blaming white people for their voices? Why the fuck would I blame white people for voting within their best interest? Bitch, it was you. Let's talk about the colorism and the xenophobia that was displayed within the Latinx community. You all decided not to vote within your best interest because you no longer wanted extra immigrants from Venezuela and Argentina to come into America. You a fucking immigrant yourself. Your parents are fucking immigrants yourself. You just got off the fucking plane not too long ago, and you decided that it was worth putting your safety and your health at risk just to block other people from getting over here into this land and experiencing a better life. You have the nerve and the audacity to sit there and think that somebody else should play a shield for you? Black women have never been ignorant and unaware of the harm that was going to come our way for putting that goddamn Frosty Cheeto back into the office. You were. You had no plans. You've done nothing. You've had nothing to do, but you sit on this fucking internet and cry and think that our black educators should sit there and protect your children. If it was a bunch of black children that was being harmed in school systems and going missing, you would sit there and tell us that you were just complying with the fucking law. Stop talking to me and the rest of the black women about this. The struggles in this land and slavery and all that you're trying to tell us, well, if they get harmed first, they're coming for you next. We knew that, bitch, because the harm never stopped coming for us. It is outlandish for you to believe that we were that obtuse into knowing that the harm against the black community was going to be next in line. Nigga, it never stopped being first in line, quite frankly. It is only on paper that they decided to put on a stamp and through a pen ink that we have been seen as legally free for 59 motherfucking years. My parents are older than 59 years old. My grandmother is 84 years old. My grandmother that just recently passed died at 92 years old. I don't want to hear shit. We all know that the institutions of racism, all they did was just rename them and reroute them, that they never actually stopped. We are still slaves within this goddamn land. We just don't have the physical chains to show everybody, and we can't be unalived or strung up from a fucking tree. Do not talk to me like I am a damn buffoon and I don't understand the dangers of what's happening to you and what can happen next to me. Bitch, you didn't care about the dangers that was happening to my son. You didn't give a fuck about what was going to happen to me every single goddamn day when I walked out my damn door. You were selfish. You are a mindless bot. You were disrespectful. You were anti-black. And now you are on the first one on the chopping block, and you are going to have to pay some consequences for your decisions. You are going to stop getting on this internet discussing accountability with a bunch of black women over some goddamn wigs, weaves, lashes, and nails, and you won't be accountable for your goddamn community's choices. Black women are out here being arrested, yelling solidarity to the death of me, and a bunch of goddamn white liberals and Hispanic communities is watching her and recording her being arrested. You want it to be a revolutionary right there? Well, here is your time to shine right now. Put something in order. Put a play in order. Show me the strategy. Give me the fucking plan. Put the layout in. And I stand behind you. But what you're not going to do is convince us to constantly stand outside like all them goddamn POCs is not going to run behind us like we some goddamn target practices shields. I'm not the proof. I'm not Superman or Supergirl. Find somebody else to do it. And you know, sis, that's what I'm trying to say. That's all I'm trying to say. That's the worst part about this situation. Like, we come literally from a group of people that said, I'm willing to unalive.
Well, there you have it, folks. There you have it. You have seen very well that Latinos are out there calling upon us to help them. And as I have said, it's not just Latinos. I'm talking about all the other minority groups. I'm talking about, you know, I won't name them specifically, but it's something that if you have a keen eye, then you have definitely noticed that this is not the first time that these other minority groups are reaching out for what they have termed as unity. Remember, it's only unity when it's beneficial to them, and that's exactly what I am pointing out in this video. And you know what's really funny? How the world spins around, you know, some sort of karma. It's some sort of karma. Now we are seeing Latino communities crying out loud, begging for black folks to join them, protesting against the ICE raids, standing up to the unfair immigration policies, and they are currently demanding our support because, you know what? Without black support, their voices won't be heard. Actually, when it comes to struggle or when it comes to the fight for freedom, black voices are the loudest. And that's a fact. Hate it or love it, black voices are the loudest. Right about now, I'd say Latinos have their own influencers here on social media. Their influencers are not vocal enough. They're not talking about it as loud as they should be talking about it. But right about now, their influencers are probably silent. Probably they may be in fear of losing brand deals or losing wealth or probably being targeted by the government. But they're not talking about it. But remember, when it comes, somebody just texted me, when it comes to black influence, not just the influencers take part, but each and every black person, they come united and they try to help wherever necessary. So I don't think it's fine that the black community is usually taken advantage of. You know, other communities only want or express that they need our help only when it's convenient to them. And what they term as unity is not necessarily unity, but it's just them wanting our services at their own convenience. You know, like now that the ICE raids are in their neighborhoods, now the deportation buses are rolling, now that things are not going for them, suddenly it's let's unite. And you remember black folks got power, as I have just said. Remember that black voices move mountains, and it's not something that is just happening right now, it's something that has happened in the past. You know, remember our pain and the pain that black people went through just to gain freedoms. You know, the fight for freedom in America, the civil rights, if you remember that. Who led the whole movement? These are black people. You know, black people bled for civil rights movements. Black people died for civil rights movements. I'm talking of so many black leaders that were assassinated by the government. So many of them were assassinated, and still blacks pressed on, and they'll keep pressing on. So right about now, I just want to bring it to your attention that there's nothing like unity, because they do not want to show up for blacks when it's inconvenient for them, and they do not want to show up when it does not benefit them. You know, if they want unity, let them prove it. Let them show love, not just when it's convenient to them, or not just when they think that they need us. And those creators who are out there saying that blacks should stay indoors and not participate in the protest, then I totally agree with that. And I would also urge you to stay indoors and not participate in these protests, because if you look at it, it's something that they are sincerely taking advantage of us. And now that we know that, I believe that we should be able to resist the urge of going out there to stand with them, because they will not do the same. And history proves that right. During the fight for freedom and during the civil rights movement, were they beside us? No, they were not beside us. In fact, what they did was they tried to blend in with the whites. They saw themselves to be more white than black. They did not want anything to be associated with the blacks. In fact, they distanced themselves. Back then, the distance that they gave us, you'd have thought that blackness is a disease. So that's exactly what they did. They distanced themselves from blacks and didn't want anything to do with blackness. And blacks, of course, not all of them did that, but the majority did that. Their leaders did that. And they were not standing with us during our fights. So I am not calling for disunity. I am just putting the truth out there that that is how things are. And that's how things work in America. If at all a black person will, or the black community will have a problem tomorrow, then history repeats itself. They will definitely not be by our sides as we fight for our rights. Yeah, so with that, I would like to end this commentary here. I am glad that you watched to this point. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you like this kind of content, then please consider subscribing to this channel. My previous channel was deleted by YouTube for reasons that I do not know specifically, but yeah, consider subscribing to this channel. I post this kind of videos here on a daily basis, and by subscribing to this channel, you'll be guaranteed to get notified each and every time I upload a new video. Otherwise, see you in the next video.